For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJD.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Ah, yes! Welcome aboard to a very happy Miami Dolphins postgame show as the boys defeat the stinking New York Jets 24-17. Welcome aboard to a very happy sports grill in Bird Road. I am loving life. You feeling good there, Sean, that the boys got it done? Feeling good?
It's a W.
It's a W, baby. That's what it's all about, and we got a lot of happy people out here at Sports Grill in Bird Road. By the way, since we made the switch from Miami Lakes to Bird Road, all right, we are 3-0 here at the Bird Road location. So the Dolphins have yet to lose watching in here from Bird Road. So thanks to all of you out here that came out to watch the game with us. Always appreciate it. Sean Stanley by my side, driving the program. It's a beautiful thing, man. Tua Tagovailoa, 27 of 33, 273 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Myles Gaskin led the way with 23 rushes for 89 yards. Mike Gesicki, by the way, did not get that number for me. He ended up with 50 yards. I needed 53. I thought I had it after that first half, but it was all right because I ended up on the Hard Rock Sports app. I bet the Dolphins minus 3.5, and so we covered. But not only that, when the Jets tied them, remember how I tell you that it's like a stock market, right? It went down. So the line was Dolphins 2.5. And at that moment, you know, you gotta roll the dice and say, do you have faith? And you know what? I had faith in my boys. And so I took it 2.5. Plus, it allowed me to cover myself because if the Dolphins win by a field goal, I would have lost the 3.5, but I would have won the 2.5. So that kind of made up for it. Now that they won by 7, we take both bets, and it's a beautiful thing, and it makes up for losing the Gesicki one. Be good, baby. All right, make sure you bring Alexa. Got to bring the president next time. Josh is in the house. We thank all the folks that came by today to hang out with us today and enjoy the Miami Dolphin win. And you got yourself, for those of you that like to complain about Tua, you got yourself a Tua bomb and everything. So let's see, on a play where he scrambles, doesn't get to set his feet, he throws a 50-yard pass from his 30 to the 20-yard line to Mac Hollins, who I've been talking about all damn year that should be playing. I don't know. Mac Hollins, all he does is make plays. That's all I ever see from Mac Hollins, is that he makes plays. And sure enough, again, made plays today and got the touchdown for the Miami Dolphins. But a great throw by Tua because it was accurate. You know, I saw some people, well, you know, he's not in stride. Oh, get the hell out of here, dude. It's a 50-yard ball. He still has a middle finger that's not completely healed either. Don't think that finger is completely healed because it's not. And yet you got a bomb 10 days ago, and now you got a bomb this week that actually was just as far, or maybe even a little farther. I don't know, but either way, that was a lot of fun to watch. Jalen Phillips ended up picking up a sack today. They got 2 sacks on the season on the game. Byron Jones, who also gave up his share of plays, but he also picked up a sack overall. But nice to see that Jalen Phillips right now 3.5 sacks on the season. So pretty good stuff for him overall. He is getting better and better every single day. So it's nice to see Jalen Phillips playing better. It's nice to see the team playing better overall. Listen, 3 in a row. We will take it. Greg, thank you, sir, giving us a little love on the super chat. He says they are going to win just enough games to save this regime, aren't they? I mean, you know what, Greg? I don't know what's going to end up happening, my brother. I have my issues with Flo. He can't build a staff, and if you can't build a staff, you can't be a head coach. So that's my problem with Flo right now. And this is why I don't believe that, he will end up being the guy next year, because if you're the front office and you're the owner, you have to look at the struggles on the O-line and the offense, and it's still going on. It's like they're overcoming that right now. Tua's overcoming it. Waddle's overcoming it. Gesicki's overcoming it. Matt Collins is overcoming it. But it's really not a matter of that you have any good coaches on the offensive side of the ball. So I think that's a real problem for the Miami Dolphins. And I think if you're the owner and you're the front office, you have to look at this guy and say he can't build a staff. And that's a major, major problem right now for the Miami Dolphins. Remember, you can also make your donations. I know Greg did it through the Super Chat, but you can also do it through Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show if you want to make a donation and help us grow as always. But, man, it is a beautiful day. The Dolphins win. They take care of business against the crappy Jets team. But listen, here's the thing. I've watched the Miami Dolphins lose against the crappy Jets over the years. So I just love the fact that they found a way to win the game. The international black man was chatting with me back and forth, and he was frustrated with some of the stuff going on. And I just told him, man, just find a way to win. That's all. Right now, I'm not judging the Dolphins by style points. If you're a Kansas City fan, you can complain about a sloppy win or something like that. But if you're a Dolphins fan, I just want to win. That's it, man. That's all. Just find a way to win. Get it done for me. Flo gotta go. Gives us a love on the super chat. He says, please, when Omar comes on, ask him about Tua throwing deep passes 2 weeks in a row. I'm in the mood to see him tap dance around that. The Soul King Rue says, when Mac is involved, good things seem to happen. Why doesn't he have a bigger role? Cam Flo, open your eyes. Well, that's the problem with Cam Flo, dude. He has made these stupid decisions all throughout the year, and Matt Collins has no business being on the bench. That kid should always be playing and helping you out. As I've said, Matt Collins is one of your 3 best wide receivers on the team. Right? He is dependable. He's tough. He's got good hands, and I can't explain it, but he has a knack for making plays. And I don't care if it's special teams. I don't care if it's on offense, but somehow or another, Matt Collins finds himself around the football all the time. This is why I've been, just screaming day after day, week after week, about where the hell is Matt Collins and why isn't he playing more? It's baffling to me. By the way, if you do send donations through Venmo, you can put your comments, your insults, your questions, your frustrations, your happiness, anything that you want to put. You can also do it on Venmo. We will read it, and we will answer your questions also on the air. Robert from Denver, he's in the house. There he is. I see him. Thank you. Robert even sends in a super chat, even sitting here at Sports Grill with us. Robert comes from Denver. He's hanging out here for the week. He came by to hang out with us, so we appreciate it. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you, man. Much love. Said, had a great time chilling at Sports Grill, knocking down some wings today with Big O, celebrating a win and talking Fins. 3 in a row, baby. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you, man. And thank you for coming. And, Robert, I'll see you over at Red Rocks in the next year or two. I'll be up there to go see a band. The best place on earth to see a concert. Great places, great place. So Robert came to visit us from Denver, so I got to visit him hopefully in the next year or two. Go out to Red Rocks and enjoy a concert. Sean Murray, a little love on the super chat. He says, nice to see the defense adjust once they were burned. After that, nothing. Waddle is sick. Waddle would be a Pro Bowler in a real offense. Mike Gesicki would be a Pro Bowler in a real offense. Tua Tagovailoa, if he plays for Sean Payton, the Saints are in the playoffs. The problem for Gesicki, Waddle, and Tua is that they're stuck on a crappy Dolphin offense with an offensive coordinator that, we got family here, but what I'd like to say about the coordinator, I can't say because of the family area here, but let's just say he couldn't find certain things with a funnel. And so, I just, and an offensive line coach that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. They have no running game. It's a disaster. And yet somehow or another, they found a way to win 3 games in a row. And that's because you have certain players that are so good that they're able to overcome the inefficiencies around them and the deficiencies around them. That's the way I should phrase it. So that's the problem. Waddle is a stud and a half, but Waddle can't do anything on this offense. It's not his fault. It's not Tua's fault. It's not Gesicki's fault. That's for damn sure. I'm not blaming those guys for what's going on with the Miami Dolphins on offense. I admire the hell out of those men that they're finding ways, and Matt Collins, finding ways to make plays regardless of the crap around them, okay? That's, if we're going to be honest, and we're going to call it like we see it. Preston Williams pulled a hamstring on the Albert Wilson trick play. That guy cannot win for losing. That guy needs to get cut. Next year, no Devontae Parker anymore, no Preston Williams, no Albert Wilson, and no Will Fuller. Enough already. This is what I love about Matt Collins. He might not be the most talented guy, but he's tough and he's super reliable. And clutch, by the way. Let me add clutch. Can I add just clutch? Like a money player. And it reminds me of Oronde Gadsden. Not the most talented guy in the world, but damn, dude, he's going to make plays. There are just some of those dudes in this world. And for me, Matt Collins is one of those guys that he might not be as talented as everybody else, but he's going to outproduce everybody else because he's going to outwork everybody else. He's going to out-hustle, and he's got more heart than most. And that's what I see in Waddle. I see heart. That's what I see in Gesicki. That's why Omar and I were going back and forth on, questioning Gesicki's toughness. Just because he can't block doesn't mean he's not tough, right? Just because Tua isn't durable doesn't mean he's not tough, okay? Because the guy's been playing with broken ribs. The guy will play with a messed up finger. The guy finds a way. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you, man. The guy finds a way to stay on the field. Comes back from a hip surgery that most of us would have been incredibly afraid to continue to play this brutal game called football after hip surgery. Okay? Tua is as tough as they come as a human being. He has proven that over and over and over and over again from college to this. Okay, now, is he injury prone? Yes. Is he durable? No, he's not durable. I get all of that. But tough? He's tough. Waddle? That dude's tough. Gesicki? That dude's tough. Matt Collins? That dude's tough. And you got some tough people that are helping this offense survive and get by, regardless of what's coaching them. that if they actually had the proper support, they'd all be much better players. Jim Jensen wasn't physically gifted, but he made plays. Amen to that, Larry in Columbus. Great point, my brother. You know, Bernie Parmalee wasn't the most talented guy, but he found a way to help you out and make plays. Keith Askins wasn't the most talented guy for the Miami Heat, but found a way to help you and make plays. Have a great one. You know, it's sometimes you measure a human being by their heart and their determination. It doesn't mean that they're the most gifted, but they might be the most reliable. They might be the kind of people that you can count on in key moments. And that's usually what happens. You know, there are some guys that aren't nearly as gifted as others, but they find a way to contribute and to become really, really good players for you in their own right. Hey, is UD Alonzo Mourning? Is he Tim Hardaway? Is he Dwayne Wade? No. But he found a way to become a hell of a player, didn't he? And contribute in so many ways for so many years. By the way, it was nice to see the old man actually get a block this past week. You're right, Big O. These rookies have been and they are special. The problem is they get lost in all of this, and then they don't get enough credit. You know, people look at Waddle, oh, well, he's only catching these short passes. Well, that's what the offense can provide, unfortunately. But at least, dude, there's something to having the balls that you're constantly catching first downs and you're constantly being counted on to move the chains and keep the offense alive and keep them on the field. And Waddle's done it all year long, dude. I love everything I've seen about Jalen Waddle. I just hope he had, you know, Richmond Webb and Keith Sims and some of these guys actually blocking and Marino throwing to him. And watch Jalen Waddle, you know, be a star, you know, if he's under Shula. But here, unless you give, you know, the kid a line, he's not going to be able to find Waddle downfield that much. And look, they've been able to get by and make a couple of big plays in the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Rosendo, much love, my brother. You be good. Rosendo in the house. Thank you. Thanks to a lot of you listeners that have come by and hung out and watched the game with us. You brought family members. Really, really appreciate it. I truly do. Let's pick it up, man. Let's make it bigger and bigger every week. I want to see more of you out there. Hey, man, we're 3-0. So come on out. Let's make it 4-0 next week. Andrea 808 says, much love from Hawaii. Thank you, Big O, for your show. Happy for our win today. Fins up. Thank you, Andrea. You know, American Dream Lending, one of our sponsors, they are taking care of one of our listeners in Hawaii and another one in Indiana. Several here also locally. But, you know, Eves was here with us today. And again, I don't know which one of you listeners in Hawaii called Eves and you're dealing with American Dream Lending. Oh, we got Joe. Okay, great. And then we have another listener in Indiana, listens all the time. And, you know, Eves he's available in different states. All right, let's go to the coach.
Execute the game. So we're seeing some of that. I think, you know, and we made enough today. But you know, we'll just keep preparing the way we've been preparing and try to string good days together.
Miles said that you guys had a good week of practice. You've sort of piggybacked on that. Obviously, your head coach. What does a good week of practice look like?
Good energy, good preparation. You know, when I ask questions in a meeting, guys have the answers. They have a good understanding of what we're trying to do, what our opponent's strengths and weaknesses are. So when asked, they can answer, and then it looks like they understand, you know, the things that we talked about in meetings in practice. So that's kind of generally, that's kind of the thinking.
What led first to the sloppiness of the first half and then the way the team played in the second half?
You know, I think it always comes down to execution. So our operation, getting in and out of the huddle, offensively, defensively in the kicking game, communication, And look, you got to give credit to the Jets. I mean, they created some situations that forced some communication issues for us. I thought they did a nice job and had a nice game plan. So credit to them. They played hard. They made some plays for sure, and we just made a few more plays than they did.
Last 2 games we've seen like what we call trick plays, where it's some of the reverses, the attempted pass with Albert Wilson. I mean, has there been in the coaching room more concerted efforts to say like, hey, let's be more creative. Let's try to get defenses kind of catch them off guard.
I think we always want to be creative, really, in all 3 phases, and you got to practice them. You got to feel good about them. Not running them from practice, and we felt good about some of the plays we ran today. We ran them, had some success. Some of them we didn't really get executed the right way. I'm thinking about the one in the low red, but I think again we did enough. We always want to be creative and try to run plays that are going to get us positive plays, and some of those kind of trick plays allow us the opportunity to do that.
How did you feel about the execution at the end of the half? I'm sure you wanted to come away with points and must have been disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, we had an opportunity to kick a field goal. Jason missed it, but Jason came right back and made one at the end when we needed it. So,
with Tua's performance, obviously we saw a 65-yard touchdown pass. He threw the interception early. Where would you assess where he is right now after dealing with all that he's dealt with this season and finally returning to the starter?
I think it's, I think he's getting better every time he steps out on the field. I think he made a lot of good decisions today. I thought we moved the ball, pretty efficiently, especially in the second half. Those drives in the second half are big drives, and I think we answered their score with a score, and then we're able to go up 2 scores with the next drive. So, Tua's leading the way from that standpoint. So I think he's playing well. I think he played well today, and he made enough. Obviously, there's some throws he wishes he had back, I'm sure. Some decisions he wishes he had back. I mean, I think we all feel that way. That's how everybody feels after a game. But he made enough plays for us to win.
Brian, I know you're from. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have to ask you about your shirt. It seems like you're paying tribute today.
Yeah, my uncle's a fireman. Or he was a fireman. He's retired now. He was very instrumental in my life. He gave me this shirt. His work for Ladder 118. They were one of the first firehouses to go in 9/11, and no one came out of there. So he's been very instrumental. He introduced me to football. So I gave him the shirt, and I figured it would be a good time to wear it.
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
I'll beat you to it.
I'm just polite.
On that drive where you guys held possession for 6 minutes and drove the length of the field and Gaskin scored, how important is it to actually use your 4-minute offense and eat up that much possession of the clock?
I think at the end of the game, anytime, at the end of the game, with the lead, time is, we got to do. We always want to do a great job of kind of milking the clock, using as much time as possible. When you're on the other side of it, you want to conserve as much time as possible. So, that fourth quarter and that time of possession in the fourth quarter and really the second half is very important, something we talk about. We were able to execute it today. I thought we ran the ball. I thought we, picked up some third downs, some short yardage plays. Everyone contributed to that. It was Miles, Duke Johnson, Waddle, Durham. I think, we got contributions from a lot of different guys, and we were able to, string good plays together. And that's what we talked about, just stringing good plays together. Not having one good, one bad. That doesn't get it done in this league. Got to string them together. We were able to do that and, punch it in at the end, and those are the winning points.
I know it's right after the game. Do you have any updates on Jamal Perry and Trent Scarlett, obviously both were ruled out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't want to. We got to run some tests. I think before we. I don't want to give an initial diagnosis and come back and tell you it was different tomorrow. So, but yeah, both guys are ruled out. We'll go through the gamut of tests, X-rays, MRIs, etc., and try to hopefully it's not that bad, but we'll have more information after we run those tests. Thanks, guys.
118.
There you go. That is Cam Flo addressing the media. We will address his comments because Alan Poupar is ready with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupard. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupard.
Once again, Alan, right here at Sports Grill, it was all about Bird Road and the Wings. They get it done. 3-0, baby. What do you think about that now, last 3 weeks?
I think you need to stay at the Bird Road location. Apparently, the Miami Lakes location brought bad luck, but it's an equally fine location, actually.
But we got the mojo going. No, seriously. Good performance overall. Obviously, nothing perfect because it's a divisional game and there aren't two great teams. But the bottom line is they found a way to win the game, and that's really all that matters for them. Style points aren't really that important right now.
No, and you beat a bad team that you're supposed to beat. And when the Jets come back here in mid-December, you're supposed to beat them again. Right. And when you play the Giants, logically, you're supposed to beat them. So, yeah, they got to take care of the business. Again, the margin for error is completely gone. If there's any hope, however small they are, of making any kind of playoff push, they absolutely, they need to take care of business no matter how it gets done. It was no work of art today. But they got it done, and when they needed a big drive, really nice, pretty much game-clinching drive in the fourth quarter with the help of a really, really bad call by the official. But then again, there were plenty of those on both sides, and anybody who's watched a lot of NFL games this year knows that they're all over the place. I mean, I'm not sure I recall a season with this many really, really bad calls. It's almost like the officials feel the need to interject themselves into the game. I mean, there was a DPI on X.
Oh my God!
I mean, and then there was they called the push off on Mississippi.
Yeah, really that was ridiculous. Terrible, dude. No. God, I lost my bet there on that one. They allow that when I get over 52.5 yards.
There you go.
Don't they understand that they screwed me over with that one? I mean, that's just he ended up with 50 yards, dude. I was short by 3 yards. I needed that catch.
That's cause for disciplinary action right there. I mean, that's terrible.
I'm telling you.
No, and then after being on the short end of most of the calls, and the Dolphins got the benefit of that. I mean, it was a huge call because it negated the sack that would have pushed the Dolphins out of field goal range when they were up 21-14. That allowed them to continue that drive, and eventually, basically, they milked the clock pretty much all the way down and then kicked a short field goal, which is what they needed to do. And I hope that when people saw them lined up to go for it on 4th and 1, realized that what they were trying to do is let's see if we can get a cheapie.
Right.
A cheapie first down on an offside, and if not, we'll just kick the field goal. It'll be 23 yards instead of 18 yards. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. No, it was a nice try. I knew that's what they were trying to do. We were talking about it. It was smart at that point in time. Your thoughts on Tua's play today, man?
I'm going to use the word I use for him whenever he has a good game and really good numbers. He was very, very efficient. I don't think he did anything fantastic, and I know his fans are going to throw out his numbers and all that, and they're going to go nutso about it. And yeah, he had the big 65-yard touchdown pass to Mac Hollins.
That was nice.
No, it was a blown defensive play that he took advantage of that any quarterback would have taken advantage of. I mean,
But he completed it, bro. Hey, listen, man. I'm watching Ryan Tannehill lose to Houston because he doesn't have Derrick Henry and he can't go out and make plays. Meanwhile, this kid doesn't have an O-line coach, doesn't have an offensive coordinator, doesn't have an offensive line, doesn't have a running game. Although today they actually popped a couple runs. And, he's trying to overcome. So I'm just saying he makes plays and Tannehill doesn't. And Tannehill's got better receivers.
Can we not try to pretend that he did everything on his own? I mean, he threw a bunch of passes to guys that were wide open. Like I said, he was very efficient. He played a really nice game. That particular play was all about a busted coverage where Mike Hollins basically had to wait for the ball to get there but he was so wide open and make a difference. I will tell you the one play that was huge, and it was on the touchdown drive in the fourth quarter. Actually, the pass with the 3rd and 7 pass to Jalen Waddle, the next to last play of the third quarter. That was his signature play of the game. That was the one throw where I'm not thinking, well, every quarterback in the NFL can make that throw. That one right there, no, I don't think every quarterback in the NFL can make that throw. That was a special.
About the one he put right on the outside of the defender. Yes,
that was a fabulous.
His ball placement is just absolutely awesome. You know,
correct.
And by the way, on that 50-yard throw, because it was 50 yards in the air, he didn't get to plan himself. He's coming off a scramble. And he still has a middle finger that isn't completely healed. We got to get, and it's accurate. I'm going to give.
It wasn't accurate. He made Hollins wait. He planted his feet before he threw it.
No, it's not really plant. Go look at it. I put the highlight up.
His feet are planted.
It's not planning. He's moving.
Big O. Here's the thing. First of all, I'm going to argue again with you. His feet were planted when he threw the ball, and he did the job he needed to do on that play. But let's not pretend that's a great play by Tua. He did what every quarterback in the NFL.
I'm just saying people say he can't throw 50 yards. I'm just saying.
If that's the standard, then let's get another quarterback. 50 yards is nothing for an NFL quarterback.
Well,
it's nothing.
I'm just saying, but people say he can't throw 50 yards.
Who said
he's throwing 50? He's throwing 50 yards with a fractured finger. How many times are you going to throw the ball 70 yards in the air, dude? Come on, man.
I understand that, Big O. I understand that. Okay, and also, I saw somewhere where somebody put next gen stat that was his longest throw in the air. That's BS because last year the drop by Jakeem Grant against Cincinnati. Look at the replay; it's from his own 5 to the Cincinnati 40, and do the math of the Cincinnati 41. That's 54 yards.
Yeah,
okay, so that's inaccurate. Okay, but again, no, quarterbacks don't throw it 70 yards in the air. But for a quarterback to throw it 50 yards in the air, and we were supposed to act like that's a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Well, for him it is. For him it is because apparently we have people walking around thinking he throws only 10-yard passes. They forgot that in Alabama he did throw deep. The problem is this stinking offense doesn't give you that many opportunities. Plus, he doesn't have time to scan the field, plan himself well in the pocket, and unload. That's not in him, unfortunately, because he doesn't have that there. You know?
Well, no, you and I have had this disagreement because I know it's not all about the offensive line not giving him time. There's also a reluctance for him to throw the ball. And when he did throw the ball down the field, and I'm not asking for a 50-yard pass all the time. I'm asking to throw the ball down the field. And when he tried in the first half, he overthrew Jalen Waddle, who was fairly well covered, and floated over his head and right into the arms of the safety, Ashton Davis, for a pick. Yeah. But that's not his game. At the NFL level, for Tua to be successful, it's going to be what he had today, which is an awful lot of short throws, where if his guys are open, he's going to be accurate, and it's going to work. But if it doesn't work around them, then you're going to have problems.
Yeah, well, remember, we're talking about an offense that can't block, and we're talking about an offense that can't run.
Offense block today and offense
the day you get an offense that can truly block and can truly shove the ball down people's throats, then all of a sudden, linebacker play comes up, that gap develops in the middle of that secondary, and he's going to end up killing people with that, just like Tannehill does at times when he has the horse running the ball. And I'm not asking for Derrick Henry for Tua. I'm just saying if you give Tua a competent running game, his passing game is going to look even better at that point. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you bring up Ryan Tannehill as a comparison. I would prefer the Dolphins have a quarterback who's better than Ryan Tannehill.
No. I'm just saying. No, dude, I don't want anything to do with Ryan Tannehill. This kid can play quarterback. Ryan cannot. Ryan is a game manager on his best day. This kid's a baller. If you give him the weapons around him, he can be a baller. That's the difference between those two guys. All I'm saying is how Ryan is able to take advantage when the linebackers are sucked in. That's a luxury that Tua does not have, is all I'm saying right now. That's all I'm saying. That's the only comparison I was
But
making.
again, look at the completions today. It was 27 for 33, which is highly efficient. And
Yeah, man.
most of his throws, his guys are wide open. So that's like obviously he's not doing it by himself. So anyway, but I don't want to take anything away from Tua. He played a very, very good game. He was highly efficient. But I have a problem with the narrative that it's all him and he's got absolutely zero help and he has to make everything happen on his own, which to me is complete garbage. And the offensive line today actually played a pretty good game.
Actually, no sacks today. And you know what was really nice, Alan, that they were able to pop some runs actually today.
Yep.
Several times. I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah, and amazingly enough, now one of those big runs was out of the Wildcat, which they can't get rid of soon enough for me. I mean, man, am I sick of seeing that.
I know. We all are, dude.
Yeah, but no, they had some nice runs. And if you saw like on the one that Gaskin bounced outside, I think he wound up getting 20 yards off of it. Our friend Albert Wilson with a really nice block where he basically drove his guy like 7 yards up the field. That was nice.
That was good.
Yep.
That was actually really good. I saw that play. That was really nice by Albert Wilson.
And he threw a very nice option pass to Preston Williams in the back of the end zone. That was incomplete, but Williams was not very open, and there's only one spot he could put it, and they almost wound up completing it.
Almost, and he got injured on that one.
Shocking,
Can they just leave him there in one of the 5 boroughs? Do we have to bring him back to the 6th borough? Can we just leave Preston and his bad, crypto tips like with Dogecoin? I mean, why are we wasting time with this guy on the roster already at this point? Seriously.
No, that's a fair question. I mean, he's got 5 catches on the year. It's not you're getting a whole lot out of him, to be honest.
I mean, but he's always injured or he's always dropping passes or whatever. It's just like, I watch Matt Collins and, dude, he just reminds me of Keith Askins and Udonis Haslam and Aronde Gadsden. And, he just reminds me of one of those dudes that may not be the most gifted guy on the team, but you want that sumbitch on your field all the time and you want him in the mix because somehow or another he finds a way to make plays if he's on special teams or if he's on offense. I'm so frustrated with this. I was so happy to watch him today, but I'm so pissed that you keep depending more on Preston Williams when Matt Collins is there ready to help you, and every time you call on him, the dude comes out of a booth like Superman.
No, and it's interesting. Actually, I did some research on Friday looking up the pending free agents for the Dolphins, and they have 19 total. And to me, the 2 guys who stand out are Emmanuel Ogbah and Mike Gesicki, very obviously. And beyond those 2, I'm not so sure that Matt Collins wouldn't be the first one I'd make it a point to re-sign.
Yes,
just because of everything he brings. And
I want him as a captain on my special teams. I want him playing on my special teams, and I want him to be my either 3rd or 4th wide receiver all the time, because until you show me that you can get 3 guys that are better and more reliable than Matt Collins, then I'll believe it. But for the moment, you only have 1 receiver that's more reliable than Matt Collins, and his name is Jalen Waddle. Outside of that, Matt Collins would be my number 2 receiver on this team. It's Matt Collins, it's Jalen Waddle, and Mike Gesicki. Those 3 would be on the field for me every single down of this Dolphins season.
And you know who else has become like a guy, like a favorite target lately is Durham Smythe also.
Yes, yes.
And he's a guy, and I'm not sure I've ever seen the dude. And mind you, the guy doesn't catch long passes, but I don't think I've ever seen him during his 4 years with the Dolphins drop a pass.
Yeah, for a guy that's considered a blocking tight end.
Correct. No, very, very solid. Had like a big play like early in the 4th quarter off that flea flicker where like 18 yards or something. So no, he's very solid.
I remember Chan talking about how last offseason that they wanted to get him more involved in the passing game, and get him better in the pass. And to Durham's credit, and the Dolphins, they have done that. He has grown as a pass catcher and a reliable person for them. By the way, Adam Shaheen is a guy that got injured again. And there's another guy that, by the way, suffers a lot of injuries and really doesn't have a lot of miles on him to be doing that.
No, correct. And if you remember, though, that was the book on him in Chicago, was always hurt, which is why they kind of got tired of it and they wound up trading him to the Dolphins, which turned out to be a good trade considering the Dolphins gave up nothing for him. And hey, maybe if he winds up having to sit out the game next week against Carolina, maybe we'll have a Hunter Long sighting for a change.
Oh my God, yes, he was inactive once again. I'll give maybe Flo might not nail it every time, but more often than not, he does. But if you're young and he doesn't think you're ready, dude, he won't play you no matter what. And clearly, Hunter must not have proven that he's ready yet, because man, I mean, they don't give him any opportunities whatsoever. And you got to figure there's been some opportunities throughout the year where you could have slid him in there into the active roster.
What I'm going to guess, though, is that at no point have they felt he's ahead of the three main guys, Gesicki, Smythe, and Shaheen, and he's not a special teams guy like Ethan Carter, which is why Ethan Carter is active. So, but to your point, there's another inactive day for Noah Benogany. So yeah, clearly they're not putting guys in there just for the sake of them being, high draft picks.
Yeah, once they trade X next offseason, Noah will then get the stage next year, and he'll play next year, and then you'll find out whether he can play and adapt and stay, or he is going to be toast. But yeah, I don't think we'll see much of Noah till next year. What else stood out to you today?
The abomination of a drive late in the first half, once they got into field goal range. I mean, I have two plays that to me, and it's bad to pick out bad stuff in a win, but 3rd and 1 from the 17, you have one timeout left, you run an inside handoff to Myles Gaskin. I mean, can you scream, I don't want the touchdown, I'll be perfectly happy with a field goal attempt.
Right.
And then, I don't know how many seconds, 8 seconds left from the 14-yard line. You throw a 3-yard out to our friend Matt Collins on the sideline. What's that going to do?
Right.
I mean, are you serious? Look in the end zone. If it's not there, chuck it. I mean, serious. That whole drive. And then, of course, Jason Sanders misses the field goal, which just goes to show that field goal kickers are very fickle. And Jason Sanders is not the first one to have like a dynamite year like he had last year and then kind of slump the following year, which is why a guy like Jason Tucker is so good, because he's year after year after year after year. So that really stood out to me. Outside of that, I mean, again, it was.
Can you explain why the first drive is beautiful and then it goes to crap for the rest of the half?
Every week.
That's happened so much, bro. Wow.
It's almost like you can count. First drive is going to be a touchdown. The second drive is going to be 3 and out. Then the third drive is going to be pick up 1 first down and come up short on a 3rd and 1.
Right.
It's like clockwork. No, I don't get it. It truly boggles the mind. And again, you see that first drive, and it's like, okay, this is the week where they really, they really blow out offensively. And here we are at the end. They scored 24 points, which is not bad. But again, can you tell me the last time they scored 30 points in a game? Go ahead.
Last year, wasn't there a Fitz game?
Arizona last year. It was actually a Tua game.
Oh, that was a Tua game, actually.
Yeah, that's the last time. They haven't done it this year. I think there's I did the research. There's 4 teams in the entire NFL. I think it's Chicago, Carolina, Jacksonville. I think maybe Pittsburgh's in that group, and the Dolphins. And it's if the defense does the job, it's okay. But at some point, it'd be nice to be able to show that kind of offensive explosiveness. But you got to stop with the play calling like we saw at the end of the first half. It's almost this notion of we're completely content now that we've gotten into field goal position to settle for a field goal attempt. That to me doesn't cut it.
Jalen Phillips, you like what you're seeing from him?
Yeah, nice sack, good effort sack where he came on a stunt and it was good coverage downfield and he just kept at it. I didn't notice him a whole lot outside of that, to be honest with you. Took a really stupid penalty. You're kind of holding the guy and then 4 yards out of bounds, and instead of just disengaging with him, you do that by shoving him. That's completely dumb. I didn't get that. So no, I to be honest with you, outside of the second, I'm not sure that I really noticed him that much. I think Van Ginkel had a couple of good plays.
He's starting to show up the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, big time. Brandon Jones had the big time sack, big play in that game.
Love that kid.
In the first quarter, and then he left the game. I don't know if I ever saw him back, but he left the game with an injury.
I think Miami has found their tandem at safety. I really do. I think Brandon has the perfect attitude to play strong safety. I really do. I know he's got to get a little better in coverage, and that's fine. Every young player's got to fine tune some things and all of that. But he has a knack for making plays. He has a knack for being around the football, and that's the kind of stuff that you can't teach. At least that's the way I see it.
No, and he's very physical, and he's a very good tackler, and that's a really nice element to have in the secondary. And I don't know that the Dolphins have had that for a bit. You know, when they were playing Bobby McCain and Eric Rowe at safety, you had two nice cover guys, but neither of them are what you call physical players.
Right.
So it's nice to have that back there now.
Yeah, that dude that dude's a thumper. I do like him. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Catch his work if you're a Dolphins fan at Sports Illustrated. More importantly, bookmark his SI page if you're a Dolphins fan. Awesome way to keep up with the team. Appreciate you, Alan, as always. Strong stuff, my man. We will catch up later on in the week, my friend. You be good.
Sounds good. You take care, Big O.
You got it, baby. There you go. Alan Poupart and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
By the way, some of these super chats, did you write any of them down? Because they disappeared. There was one from Hawaii, thank you, and I forgot now the name. I see Daryl Wallace, thank you. He says Poupart would be a great fit on this coaching staff. Let me see. I know we have another one.
Tom Wilson was.
Tom Wilson is another one. Yeah, no, but it was before Tom Wilson because I just read the one before Tom Wilson, which is Daryl, and then there was another. I believe it was a lady in Hawaii. Out there because there's so many people. And by the way, please, while you're all watching, please smash the like button. We went over 1,100 last week, so let's go, man. Let's go. It's so important to smash the hell out of that like button. Ernesto Don, thank you for giving us a little love on the Cash App. Very nice of you, sir. Very nice. Thank you out there. Remember, you can make your donation through Cash App and Venmo. The links are right there on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast, it's Cash Big O Show is the address. That is Cash Big O Show. So the Miami Dolphins get it done. They defeat the stinking New York Jets 24-17. It is a beautiful day. Plus, Crypto.com is at 74 cents right now, man. That thing continues to explode. All right, let's take a quick break. Hour number 2 is next.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, aka the Big O, he covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Lollipop, low in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, welcome back. We, of course, will take you for another hour here. Hour number 2 of the program after a beautiful 24-17 win here. By the way, I'm looking on the chat board, which you can always reach out on the chat board. The text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. You can also send us an email, bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. And so we got, let me see my man Thomas, who's always on here. He says, name me the last time a game manager won a Super Bowl. I'm waiting for that F and S. I want to win a championship. Face it, Tua will never get it done, and the Dolphins know this. First of all, Tua's much better than a game manager, and the last time a game manager won was just 5 years ago. His name is Peyton Manning. He couldn't throw more than 10 yards. And before that, you also had Trent Dilfer, who was a game manager. You also had Brad Johnson, who's a game manager. These are all Super Bowl winners in the last 21 years. They're all game managers. So you can win with a game manager. You need an exceptional team around him, but you can win with a game manager. So I didn't give you one Thomas Jensen. I gave you three that actually won it in the last 20 years here in modern day football. So, I mean, you can go with whatever you want, but that's the reality, my man. You can win it, but Tua's not a game manager. Tua's much better than a game manager. But, you know, you got to get everybody else around him to actually be a little better. Mr. Spock says, Flo is toast in the offseason. Finns under him need a legit O-line coach and OC. Top quality candidate will not come to Miami to work under his leadership. And Mr. Spock, that's exactly the way it looks right now. Okay? Right now, that's how it looks, that they're not going to do it. So I agree with you 100% on that one. All right? Let's see. What else do we have here? Defense wins championships. Yes, it does. But it also helps to have an offense. That's all. Flacco was not a game manager, bro. He threw 11 touchdowns and no interceptions. And Baltimore's defense was middle of the pack. Okay? Middle of the pack. Ray Lewis was done. He was making tackles 5-7 yards downfield. So when Flacco won a championship, he carried the Baltimore Ravens to that championship. Dude threw 11 touchdowns and no interceptions. That's not a game manager. So, no, that's not. If it was the Ravens of 01, yeah, that's Trent Dilfer, and that's a game manager. The Ravens of whatever it was when he won, 14 or whatever it was, how many years ago it was, 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was, they were, that was a middle-of-the-pack defense. Wasn't even a special defense for the Ravens. They weren't that good, man. Big O, how was Tua overall? I love what I saw from Tua. I thought he did an excellent job. I like what I see with Tua, but everybody wants me to believe that it's done and we need to move on. What should we do with him? Well, look, the key with Tua is, look, he's injury prone, okay? That's just the facts. So you got to do what I said you had to do when you drafted him. Build the wall of Montezuma. I keep saying it. Okay, you need to build a offensive line in front of him that is not going to allow people to touch him much. You need to get a badass running back that he can play with, so that way, you know, play action works. Linebackers are sucked in. That middle part of the field becomes a little bit more open for him. Make life a little easier for the young man. That's all. That's it. I mean, Peyton Manning couldn't throw more than 10 yards. And somehow or another, the Broncos figured out a way to win a Super Bowl. You know, this is what, while I can't stand the bastard, right? Bill Belichick says, okay, I got Mac Jones. All right, I'm going to keep him in a controlled passing game. I'm going to get 2 tight ends. I'm going to sign a wide receiver. I'm going to make sure I have a great offensive line. I'm going to give him a running game. I'm going to give him an offensive line coach, and I'm going to give him an offensive coordinator that knows how to develop quarterbacks. And I'm not going to ask him to do too much. I'm just going to ask him to manage the game, hit the open guys, and that's it. He doesn't have to be throwing a bunch of bombs downfield and all that kind of stuff. And they built the offense around the kid, and they gave him a chance to be successful. Miami drafts Tua and does the exact opposite. Okay, let's get an offensive line coach that's never built an offensive line himself. Let's put together 3 offensive coordinators that have never really been successful offensive coordinators on their own, and they've never really done it on their own, like to a point that you could consider them like offensive coordinators. Then let's also put 4 inexperienced linemen with a journeyman in front of Tua, and let's not give them a running game. And I'm sure everything's going to work out. So the Patriots did exactly the opposite for their quarterback that Miami did. And that's poor planning by Flo. He runs the coaching staff. He decides all of this. He decided he didn't want Flowers. He decided he didn't want the Emmanuel guy also that was here. That was his decision. So these are the things that in the end, you know, those of you that want to complain about Tua, you can go ahead and complain about Tua. But the Miami Dolphins have done a piss poor job of actually building around the kid to give him an opportunity to be successful. And no matter what's going on, he's still making plays for you. You mess him up, you crush his ribs, you know, his finger gets broken, and yet he still comes back and helps you and proves that he can be a competent quarterback. But yet you don't give him the weapons he needs because you keep playing guys like Preston Williams instead of Matt Collins. So this is where, you know, that's where the rubber meets the road. Let's see. He keeps saying get better people around him, but don't elite players make the people around them better? Yeah, exactly. But if you don't have an offensive line, D-Talk, how are you going to make anybody better when you're on your ass? You got any common sense, dude? How are you going to make anybody better if your running game is never a threat to the defense? So if your linebackers are going to be on their toes the entire time because they don't have to go on their heels, because they don't have to worry about anybody, how does Tua make them better? So you think Joe Montana did it without a line and without Roger Craig? Huh? Love that. Let's see. Hey, LaShawn, you made your point. It's over. It's over. Don't do this. Don't do this. I know there's a delay here. If I see 3 more of those, you're blocked. There's 1. I see 2 more of these. You're done. You make your point and you move on. There's no spamming here of anything. And I got your okay. Just need 1 okay. That's it. No more. Okay? Get your point out and move on. There's no spamming here. You don't get to make your point 8,000 times. All right? Whether I agree or disagree with it, it's not fair to everybody else on the chat board. If Noah can't cover the receivers that we have now, then we need to cut him. He needs to ball in practice. Yeah, well, yeah. LaShawn says, by the way, after he put it 8,000 times, Tua's the truth. 50-yard throw on the run with a broken middle finger that is still healing. What's the haters got to say now? LOL, and he's doing it with below average offensive line. And it was a good point. You just don't have to do it 80 times. I like it. You're right. Let's not just give them 100 mil and keep them for the next 10 years. Screw building the O-line. Greer needs to draft more game day scratch CBs and tight ends. Let's see. Why can't the Dolphins keep Gesicki on the field most of the time like Travis Kelce? Well, you can ask Flo that, dude. Don't ask me. Flo doesn't play Matt Collins. You know, what can I tell you? I mean, the guy that controls the 53 has made so many terrible decisions this year. It's the reason why you're this bad is because of Brian Flores more than anything else. I mean, that's just the way it is. But don't matter. It's a good day today because the boys ended up beating the Jets 24-17, and that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. You know, other things can be frustrating, but the good thing is they ended up winning. I love what I saw from Tua. By the way, let's give the offensive line a little love because Tua understood he had to get rid of the football quickly. So he has helped the offensive line. He did not get sacked. The offensive line does not give up a sack. And today, they were able to run the ball. I mean, that's one thing that we do have to give them a little love. I know that they have struggled running the ball. It's been almost impossible for them to run the ball. But if you look at what happened today with Myles Gaskin, he actually had some success on the ground. And that was a pretty cool thing. I'll give you his stats. Myles Gaskin today, I know he didn't end up with 100 yards on the day and, didn't score 8 touchdowns. I'll tell you what, that one touchdown he scored, he was sandwiched between those two guys. Go look at that play. His head got completely jerked back. And I would not be surprised if, maybe he'll never admit it or something, but that's the kind of play that you end up concussed. Okay, maybe it's smelling salt, ring the bell, all that kind of other stuff. But one of the things about Myles Gaskin, and I know people say, well, he's not a number 1 back, and probably not. But I love him as a number 2 back. I think he's a terrific little player. He is tough as nails, man. That's one of the things that I do admire about the kid. He is tough as hell. And Gaskin today actually had some success running on the ground today. And we got to give the Miami Dolphins some credit today because they were able to pop some nice long runs. And that's pretty cool because that's something that has been kind of a thorn in the side for this team for a while. They haven't been able to run the ball. They haven't been able to have a lot of success. And today they were able to have some success at least on the ground. And for that, at least, we got to be grateful that that Gaskin was able to have some success. We have Tua, right? Correct? All right. By the way, Gaskin, to give you the numbers, was 23 of 89, 3.9 yards per carry. Duke Johnson did run it 4 times for 18 yards for 4.5 yards per carry. So you had 2 backs that had a little success. I know Tua ran 3 times for 6 yards. That doesn't count or whatever. Patrick Laird had 1 for 4. But overall, you look at what Gaskin and a little bit of Johnson, they were able to pop some, decent runs. So that was actually pretty cool. And Gaskin, by the way, also had 3 receptions for 7 yards, including the 1 touchdown for 5 yards. And what a tough sumbitch, man, to get sandwiched between those 2 guys. All right, Tua was terrific today. 27 of 33, just 6 incompletes. One of them was an interception. 273 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. A 108.7 QB rating. Let's go to Tua Tagovailoa addressing the media today.
To that touchdown pass to Mac Hollins, what was going through your mind as you kind of evaded pressure there and see a wide open teammate down the field?
Yeah, it was a progression on that play. In the first progression of that play was Mike. And when I came off, of Mike, there were about 3 people, including the safety, who were on him. Then when I turned out, Mac was wide open, so I threw it down to him, and he made the play. Obviously, scored for us. Came back to the sideline, and I realized how open he was. So.
Are there many more Are there any plays in sports that are more relieving than going through your progressions and then seeing a guy that wide open?
I mean that's just part of the game. That's what I could say. It was definitely, a big sigh, for us offensively, because we really wanted to find our rhythm in the game. Obviously the interception turnover kind of stopped us, but I would say that's what I'm most proud of our offense. We continued to put our head down, continue to fight. We had some mishaps, but didn't matter. We just kept going.
With that drive where Myles scored, you guys basically ate up 6 minutes of 8 minutes left on the clock. How big is having one of those drives that kind of extinguish games?
I think those types of drives are very key, especially ending those drives in points. I think that's very key. And obviously that's kind of what we wanted to do this entire game. Didn't happen, but like I said, I'm very proud of, just all three phases, just continuing to play and, trying to play complementary football.
And the key is sustaining those long drives, of course, completing passes. You had a high completion percentage today. What were the keys for you in that area?
Just my keys, whoever I was reading in the RPO game, whatever my progressions, told me to work, that's kind of what I did.
Can you take us through the interception as well?
Yeah, it was just a bad ball. It would have had to have been a good throw to Jalen as well. There's some pressure. That's just part of the game. So we took that, and like I said, very proud of how we came back from that, to win the game. So
on the Myles Gaskin touchdown, it looked like you were about to get hit. Can you tell us about what happened in the moments just before that touchdown pass?
Yeah, I was really looking to hit Durham on a quick out that he had, and Durham was open, but I felt like I was late to that read, and so the next in my progression would have been Myles. So try to stand in there, and when Myles came in, just threw it to him.
So it seems like in recent weeks, or at least the past two games, you guys have really started to kind of like reach into your bag with some of these trick plays. Have there been more discussions about just trying to test defenses and kind of catch them off guard and do kind of everything possible?
I just think we're trying to do everything possible for us offensively to, find ways to get the ball moving downfield. With these trick plays, if they're there, they're there. If they're not, then, live to play another down.
Especially on the first drive, there was a tempo used, a good tempo. What do you like about that when that's in play?
Well, I think the thing that I like about, going fast-paced offense, tempo offense, is it forces the defense to communicate, with the linebackers to the back end, to the D-line, what front they want to be in, all of that. And then when you do kind of get things going, those guys up front get a little tired, and so that's kind of what I would say I like about it.
Obviously, you're a young quarterback, but in the last three draft cycles, you're now the third guy with Mac Jones and Kyler Murray with a winning record, in possession of a winning record. How much have you learned how hard it is to win in this league?
Well, I learned that last year. It's not easy at all to win. And then obviously, the mishaps and the ups and downs that we've had this year. But that's what you love about this game is you never know what's ever going to happen. And that's why you prepare. So I'd say that's the challenging part. And that's also the fun part of playing my position, but also playing football.
What have you taken from this season in terms of things that you're learning and adding to your bag?
Yeah, I would say I learned a lot more, being able to play and then also kind of being on the sideline, understanding, a little more of the protections, understanding where guys need to be within their route distribution. And then also for myself, stepping up in the pocket, maneuvering my way throughout the pocket and then finding the open guys.
How did you feel the O-line did today?
I think the O-line did good. I kind of put us in a bad situation towards the ending of the game, taking that sack. But then obviously it was a penalty, which was good. So, it got wiped away. So other than that, I thought it was good.
So you said that, watching the game from the sidelines while you're out has, kind of helped you this year. Is that process something that you learned back at Bama your first year sitting behind Jalen?
I would say no, only because, the amount of information, that you need to know, weekly, it's always different. It's not, the same things you're really taking in to the game. It's always dependent on what the defense, runs and what kind of, coordinator it is. So it's different. At Alabama, you just knew where the guys lined up and you just go out there and play. Whereas in the NFL, you got to know what everyone is doing and the protection, Warrior hot. We can go on forever about that. But yeah.
Go on forever.
I'm not going to go on forever about that.
Break down we said Matt kind of pretty official. Can you kind of break down the other shorts?
Oh, yeah, the pajamas? Yeah, I love Christmas. So, and I have 3 dogs. So I got dogs with, Christmas hats on. That's all it is. Trust me, I'm thankful for a lot of things. I really am. But, I mean, Christmas is just, I'm a big Christmas guy.
So you were a skip Christmas and begin celebration of Thanksgiving before Christmas guy?
No, I mean, what I'm saying is I'll wear Christmas things. Well, I'll still celebrate Thanksgiving. So, yeah, we'll probably have a couple teammates coming over this Thursday.
You're thankful for Christmas.
Thankful for Christmas. Thankful for the Miami Dolphins. Thankful for my teammates. Thankful for my family. A lot to be thankful for. So. All right, thanks, guys.
Just a great human being that is easy to root for, and you want him to succeed because this is the kind of leader you want for your football team, man. This is just a good individual. Really, man. Again, like I've always said, the only knock on this kid is durability. He's tough as nails. He's smart. He's accurate. He can play this position. He can be a great quarterback in this league. He can be a winner. But again, you gotta system. Joe Montana had, Bill Walsh, and Terry Bradshaw had Chuck Noll, who had a great, staff, just like Bill Walsh had a great staff. And, Drew Brees had success because he went to New Orleans where Sean Payton understood him and built the right team around him. You know what I mean? This is part of being successful. You can be Steve Bartkowski, and you could have been a great, great quarterback, but you ended up in Atlanta and you took a beating. You could be Archie Manning, and you're a pretty damn good quarterback, but you end up in New Orleans and you take a beating. And you had the potential to be a really good quarterback. Who knows? David Carr might have ended up being as good as his brother Derek or better, but when you get sacked 70 times in your rookie season and you take that kind of a pounding, it sets you back. And some guys are tough enough to survive it, and some guys are not. And it's watching Steve Young in Tampa and then watching him in San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? And it's watching Peyton Manning, who can barely throw a ball for 10 yards and yet still win in Denver because they had the running game, they had the O-line, they had a great, great defense. There has to be other people. There has to be a coach. There has to be a staff. The foundation has to be there. Walter Payton was the best player in the NFL for many years when I was a kid. My favorite football player of all time, it's Walter Payton and Dan Marino. Okay? And I freaking adored Walter Payton. I don't care anything about the Bears. But man, the second he got drafted out of Jackson State that rookie year, because I didn't know squat about him in Jackson State, but his rookie year when I saw him in Chicago, fell in love with Walter Payton, man. Like the way he carried himself. Tua reminds me a lot of Walter Payton, by the way, in that sense, that he's such a pro as a human being. And then he's also a good football player. Obviously, Walter was, I hope Tua is as good a quarterback as Walter was a running back. But my point is that Walter Payton sucked on, he didn't suck, but his team was terrible, dude. And every week he was doing amazing things. But when you're playing with Bob Avellini and Vince Evans as your quarterbacks, you're not going anywhere. But then all of a sudden, here comes Mike Ditka and Buddy Ryan as your defensive coordinator. And all of a sudden, this all-world type defense develops, and an offense with Gentry and guys that can fly at wide receiver, a ballsy-ass quarterback named Jim McMahon that if he wasn't slammed on the ground by Martin from Green Bay, he would have ended up maybe with a Hall of Fame-like career, maybe, or maybe a borderline type of guy. But Jim McMahon was a bad ass before before he lost out his shoulder. Okay? But my point is that I've seen the great players on bad teams and suffer because they cannot carry the entire franchise. And right now, you're asking Tua and Waddle and Gesicki to make miracles out of garbage. And now you're asking offensive linemen who are young, inexperienced. They don't have the leadership and the knowledge that they need in order to succeed. And I truly believe that all 5 of the linemen that they drafted are not bad. Maybe 2 or 3 of them are, but not all 5. And if you don't think that a foundation matters to anything in life, in business, schooling, sports, it doesn't matter what it is. If you don't have a foundation, it's nearly impossible to succeed. By the way, Clee Torres, thank you, sir. He says, my dad, at the end of his life, we went to Palo Alto for the Super Bowl. Did you ever go to a Finns Super Bowl game? Top 5 highlight of my life. Even though we lost, love your show, Big O. Rock solid. Thank you, Clee, and I appreciate the love on the Super Chat. I have never been to a Dolphins Super Bowl. I have been to Super Bowls, but never a Dolphins Super Bowl. Okay? Hopefully, I'm hoping that before I check out of this world, I am to a victorious Dolphins Super Bowl. But no doubt, it would be one hell of a... Listen, all the Super Bowls I've been to, they're fun experiences. But none of them mean anything to me because it isn't the Miami Dolphins. You know what I mean? It is time now for the great Omar Kelly and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Yes, sir. We love talking to Omar Kelly and the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. There he is. He's ready to go. It's 3 in a row, Omar. The boys are on a roll. It's fun to watch.
3 in a row, and they can realistically get to 7. Not to get ahead of myself, but right. I find it very interesting now that Flores is kind of proving he's a second half coach. I don't know how I necessarily feel about that, but think about it from this standpoint. This is really maybe the second game all season that we've got a completely healthy Tua. Don't necessarily have a healthy offensive line. Don't necessarily have a healthy, wide receiving core, but they were running the RPO offense, and it looked pretty decent. They should have had more than 24 points if Jason Sanders hadn't missed a field goal, and that would keep them above the NFL average. And really, what more can you really ask for them? I'm at the point where I just want average.
No, I think, overall, look, I told you, either last week or the week before, Gesicki and Waddle would be Pro Bowl caliber players if they were on a real offense, if Sean Payton got a hold of them. You know what I mean? But for now, they're overcoming, stuff, and they're finding ways to make plays. Even a Matt Collins, who I've been wanting to see a lot more on the field because he's reliable, Omar. It's what I love about Matt Collins,
the energy, the intensity,
whether you like it or not.
the blocking.
Dude, you can't teach people who are constantly around the football or constantly making plays. And every time you look at Matt Collins on special teams or on offense, the guy's making a play. You know what I mean? That's the stuff you cannot teach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I
overall, I
ask
gotta
every
say,
week. I'm tired. I honestly ask every week, and I'm tired of asking why Matt Collins doesn't play. I literally asked him, like, why? Like, dude, are you practicing like poop? Like, what is going on? Why you don't play more? And he's like, I don't even care. I just, when my number's called, I play. But it don't make no sense to me. And I know you love Gesicki, but I'm sorry. They use Gesicki as a split end, and I don't know why Matt Collins isn't your split end.
Dude, on this team, Waddle, Gesicki, and Hollins are supposed to be your starters, my brother. That's it. It ends there. Those are your three best and most reliable players down in and down out all season long. Period.
Probably.
You're a stupid offensive coordinator and a dumbass head coach if you're not playing those three guys on a consistent basis. Those guys would never leave the field if it's up to me. Seriously.
I don't know how you could pull that off without a real tight end, but yes, I hear where you're coming from. So you must be passing 50 times a game, like
Or you can't run.
We put Matt Collins on the line.
Although today they popped some runs, dude.
Yeah, we put Matt Collins on the line. Is that what we're doing?
What?
Are we putting Matt Collins on the line?
I don't need to put Matt Collins on the line. I can leave Durham Smythe on the line if I'm going to only have three receivers out there. I can leave Durham Smythe on the line. Yeah.
But man,
I can have them as the three receivers and a pass catching back.
That's true. That's true. Gesicki's a slot. It is.
Yeah. And Durham Smythe can block and then go out and run a little bit and catch a pass or two because he's actually grown into a competent pass catcher, not a playmaker, but he's a competent pass catcher. Would you say that?
Yes, absolutely. No question about it. You paying Mike $58 million though?
Hells to the yeah, dude.
Okay.
I mean, I keep telling you, Gesicki and
keep
Waddle are not the problem on this offense.
Didn't say they were the problem.
Stars on a real offense. Andy Reid would make those two guys stars. You put those two guys instead of, put Gesicki instead of Kelsey, and you get Waddle and take him on, put a instead of Hardeman, put Waddle. And those two guys are stars on that offense.
I maybe Waddle. Gesicki's a no for me.
Gesicki makes plays on no offense. Okay, who the hell almost finishes off a one-handed hat trick in football? Very few people do that, man. That's playmaking, Omar. That's special.
He is a playmaker. He is a playmaker.
So what do you think Andy Reid or Sean Payton would do with a guy like Gesicki, my brother?
I'm dying to see what Mike Gesicki does for another team. That's where I am.
I'm not. No, don't be a jerk. I want to see him here in the honor roll at the end of his career. What are you talking? Why do I want to see him? No, I'm tired of that, Omar. I don't want to see Dolphin players leave and become stars somewhere else.
You are the same guy who complained about, oh, no, I'm not going to overpay for Jarvis. I'm not going to overpay for
but Jarvis is a chain mover. This kid is a playmaker. That's different.
So is Gesicki. He's a chain mover. Gesicki doesn't score touchdowns.
Of course he does. It's just because this offense, you can't score touchdowns because this offense doesn't score. But if you're in the red zone, I'd be using Gesicki left and right like we used to use Oronde Gadsden. Same way.
I've seen that. It don't work. It don't.
Which is
why they don't do it.
No, they don't do it because they don't have a lot of time to do stuff. But
coaches tried. I've seen 3 coaches try to make Gesicki this red zone weapon, and it don't work. So
he's a weapon, period. He can be a weapon in the red zone, in the middle of the zone, in the middle of the field, on the 30-yard line.
All right, enough of the Gesicki.
So bottom line
we've been doing this for like 9 months.
Oh, you're the one that started on
point. To your point, you wanted to pay him. Listen, you wanted to pay him $12 million before the draft. Now the price is $14 million.
I'm paying it.
So
Duncan.
I was balking at
Gesicki.
11. Now it's like 14.
Duncan Gesicki. Your brain must evolve, Omar. You're acting like the old man on the lawn. The game has changed. The game is not about finding tight ends that can block like Bavaro.
I gotta watch and go through all those RPO plays and see how many of them he participated in, and then see how many of them he was out wide.
All right, let's get to Tua. How good was Tua today? It was nice to see him throw the deep ball. It wasn't even a play where he really got set.
It's the same thing I've said. It's the same thing I've said every performance except for Buffalo. You take out the dumb, stupid interception, and it's nearly a perfect game. Every single game, it's the same. I've said the same thing every game except for Buffalo. Take Buffalo out of the equation. Every single game he's played, it's a near perfect game with the exception of the interceptions. And I just don't understand how he can be such a smart and efficient quarterback and throw that one boneheaded play. And not to criticize that boneheaded play. You know how I feel about him. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in 2023 when he's seen everything everybody can throw at him. He's going to be good because he's going to be able to dissect it, and he's going to know his limitations, and he's going to be able to basically carve up defenses. And I think he is carving up defenses. You can't stop him in the RPO. It's very difficult to get him off the field. And
wait till he gets a line in a running game. Holy crap. Wait till he gets a running game that scares the crap out of people. Do you know how much more effective that RPO becomes?
I wish, as I told you when it was draft time, I said, go get that lineman. Go get some line help.
Yeah, no, they didn't spend anything. They should have.
Go get Najee Harris. Imagine having a running game, Najee Harris in a line.
Not with this line. You had to get the line also because Najee might be hurt by now on this line.
Have you seen how big he is?
I know what he is, dude, but they can block over there. They at least get him into they open a hole block. So he could better than Miami.
Yeah, better than Miami. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Although, dude, let's give him a little love today. Every time not only that, they popped a couple of runs, man. That was actually pretty cool. When I would see Gaskins run for 8 or 10 or 12 yards, I'm like, holy crap, that was actually nice that they popped a couple of runs.
I gotta watch the film to see what was happening, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Ran for over 100 yards, didn't allow a sack. That's a step in the right direction. If you can get that on an every single Sunday basis, you have a chance to put together a winning season.
I'm with you there. The defense, your thoughts on how they played today? Because it seemed like it was a little up and down at times.
Wasn't for me enough to get the job done, but I think if Jets were kicking field goals, and it would have been a different game. It's Joe Flacco, bro. It's Joe Flacco, and they lost Michael Carter. It's Joe Flacco, and they lost Michael Carter. I'm not celebrating any. This was not up to my standards.
No, I get you.
For this defense.
No, I get you. I'm with you there. By the way, I'm looking at Josh Allen. He threw 2 interceptions today. You see, he's kind of. Do you think he's regressed a little bit this year?
The same thing with the other quarterback in Kansas City. Teams pick up on what you're doing, and they evolve and they cover you different and they make you play to your weaknesses. So that's not surprising to me.
Well, because we were talking about Tua. Meanwhile, he's got 5 interceptions in the last 3 weeks and 4 touchdowns. Josh Allen. So he's making his share. He's got 19-6 this year. So the numbers aren't nearly where they were last year at this point.
He's still elite, though. He still can kill you. Tua is one of 3 quarterbacks in the last 3 drafts that own a winning record now. Does that mean anything to you?
Hell yeah. He's played with garbage and he's won. Yeah, that's super impressive. Can you imagine if you actually give him a real offensive line and a real offensive coordinator, a real offensive line coach, and a real running back? He hasn't had any, and he doesn't even have reliable receivers. The only guy he has, it's this year that he has Waddle, actually. That's the other thing that he needs. Yeah,
reliable receivers, Gesicki.
So
Or
you don't.
mean,
Yeah, and that's another. That's no. I said receiver. Well, tight. I know. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. You're playing the word game on me.
I caught you. I caught you with your pants down.
I got you. You're calling receiver. You're calling Gesicki a receiver. But either way, how can you not be impressed that a kid has a winning record with mediocre coaching and mediocre talent around him? I find that to be impressive.
Yeah, I think there's, and I asked him a question, like there's a lot to winning in the NFL. And if you look at all these young quarterbacks from 2019 class, 2020 class, 2021, and we can even go to 2018 class because, that Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, was it Sam Darnold in that class?
Mm-hmm.
That class don't look like it's like super, so don't sit there. Oh, Lamar Jackson's in that class. Don't sit there and crown him because it's not easy to be starting quarterback in the NFL.
Exactly, but
a winning one,
like what you're talking about, Tua with the one interception. Well, Joe Burrow, 2 interceptions last week. 3-1 the week before, 3-1 the week before that, 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I factor in Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow doesn't have a winning record.
I know, but what I'm saying is he's thrown 7 interceptions in the last 5 weeks. You know what I mean? It's not an easy position.
Tua's like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Because it's kind of normal that a young quarterback will force an issue every once in a while, will make a bad throw, things like that.
With Tua, it's not even force an issue. It's just
that was a bad throw. That one's sailed over. Yeah.
It's like what's going on? What are you thinking? Like, what are you doing?
That happens to a lot of quarterbacks where they have a brain fart. Even really good quarterbacks have a brain fart overall. But that brain fart didn't lead to you losing, at least. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this. I'm not the biggest Tannehill fan, but he didn't throw. I don't remember those great.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do it.
Yeah, I don't remember the brain fart throw.
But wait a minute. But you know why that doesn't happen to him? Because he has no cojones. Because he plays conservative. Because he's not willing to take chances. And that's why he lost. That's why he lost to Houston today.
He's got like a ridiculous fourth quarter record right now. Like it's like mind-numbingly good. Like he's like the best fourth quarter quarterback in the NFL. It like blew my mind when I saw it.
That's when Derrick Henry was playing. Not anymore. Not anymore. That's not happening anymore.
Did he win or lose today?
Anymore. Huh?
Did he win or lose today?
They lost to Houston, bro. They lost to Houston. He isn't anything without Derrick Henry. You want me to? Here. 22-13, the Texans beat the Titans today. Ryan Tannehill threw 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions today. You want brain farts? Why don't you go watch Tannehill today? 4 interceptions.
4 interceptions. His interceptions are always.
By the way, for the season, he has 12 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Now that there's no Derrick Henry, they're now seeing what I've been talking about forever. Okay, this guy is a game manager.
Watch him take this team to like the him alone take this team to like the AFC Championship game. It's just to haunt Dolphin fans.
Hell no. This week 1-4. Last week 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Okay. The week before 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The week before that 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The week
he's gonna manage the crap out of games.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's thrown 5.
But that's 7, what Tua is. That's what Tua is now.
He's thrown 9 interceptions in the last 6 weeks.
That's what Tua is now, though. Tua's
he doesn't throw that many interceptions. Right? Has he thrown that many?
I think he probably at 7. He's at 6 or 7 in his very limited starts.
Okay, he's got 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and his game log as of late: 2-1, 0-0, 0-1, 4-2, 2-1, 0-0, 1-1. So there you go.
That doesn't count what? No, that doesn't count what he did today. He's 2
Yeah,
and 1
no,
today.
I'm counting the 2 and 1 today.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I'm counting the one. He's thrown 7 and thrown 5 interceptions in the process. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, I thought he played all right today, man. I thought he did a really good job overall. Dude, what's going on with Jason Sanders? Is it just one of those kicker mental things?
I don't have a clue. I mean, the wind here swirls, so.
But it wasn't swirling. I looked at the flags. They weren't really moving that much today.
I'm not an expert on kicking. I would never pretend to you like I know what I'm looking at or understand. Like, I don't know. I'm like the team, the players on the team. Your job is to make the kicks. Like, yeah. But you ask these special teams coaches what's going on. Special teams is probably special teams. I would have thought would be one of the strongest units during Flores' era, and this unit is just bad this year.
Yeah,
and I don't know how you make it good either. Not that Jakeem Grant was going to save you and rescue you. Like they just don't play like they don't have any life on special teams.
Yeah, you're right about that. That usually you see those guys are jacked up playing on special.
Like Waddle,
right.
when they kicked when they kicked off to Waddle and it landed at the 2, the Waddle looked like, God damn, I gotta return this. Like and the whole unit blocked like, man, we're gonna return this. And I was just like, and let me give Jakeem his flowers. Let that ball land at the 2 of Jakeem Grant. Jakeem is going to reverse field about 3 times trying to make something happen.
Yeah,
Waddle was just like, all right, take me down. And I was like,
well, but he also is a big part of the offense too, man.
I understand that. Then he's not going to be your return, if he's not going to, I mean, bro, he was a college electric returner.
I know. I'm just, me. I'm not big on him being.
You're telling me what you're telling me now is that he can't do what Ted Ginn did.
Well, but Ted Ginn doesn't play his role on offense. That's why. That's my point with it. He uses a lot of energy on offense.
He's a possession receiver, though.
I know, but Omar, that takes a beating, dude.
Did you ever think that he'd be a possession receiver?
No, but look at this offense. Like he's doing what he's unlike Minka. He's not complaining. He's sucking it up and doing what's best for the team because he has no choice. He could be a little bitch like Odell Beckham and say, "Oh, I don't want to do this." You know what I mean? But he's sucking it up and playing the Jarvis Landry role that he's really not supposed to be playing. You know what I mean? I'm with you. I totally understand what you envision him. I think we all envision him that way. But unfortunately, sacrifices have to be made. They don't have any reliable receivers that can do what he does. They can't count on anybody to constantly move the chain.
Where is Preston Williams?
Dude, he just got injured on the back end of that end zone on that play by Albert Wilson's throw. The guy's useless. It's over for him. It's just.
I didn't even know you got injured. He got injured?
Yeah, he got injured. It was, I believe it's a groin injury they called it or whatever he got.
Oh.
The Albert Wilson, the what was it, a flea flicker, whatever the hell it's called, or an option that he had, and he threw the ball to Wilson. It was actually a really good throw by Albert. He put it in a perfect spot, and he couldn't hang on, and he fell, and he injured himself when he fell. Preston Williams is useless. They should cut his ass tomorrow. No reason to keep him on the roster anymore. All right, go ahead. Go do your thing. We will catch up tomorrow morning, my friend. I appreciate you as always.
All right, man. I'll let you.
You got it, baby. There you go. That is Omar Kelly and the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Don't forget, please smash the like button. We got over 900 people watching. Please smash the like button. It is very, very important. That is the most important thing you can do for our show. Help all of us grow is smashing that like button. G-Firm456, thank you, sir, for giving us some love on the super chat. He says, Tua's like Rocky Balboa. He gets cut, knocked down, mouthpiece flies, but he wins. I speak of his interceptions. I still love my QB. interceptions happen, man. That's why I was pointing it out to Omar that it's not just him. Lots of quarterbacks make interceptions, especially young guys. They kind of go through the growing pains and they learn, hey, I got to get rid of that ball. I can't take the sack. Hey, I can't force this issue because then I turn it over. All these kind of things. Hey, I got to make sure if I'm going to make the throw, I got to make the right throw and be more accurate. And he's normally deadly accurate. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that you just got to, it's part of the growing pains of a young quarterback. Whether you like it or not, that's the reality. And remember, you can give us a little love on the super chat there on YouTube. But of course, if you want to help us, where it goes completely to the show and 30% doesn't go to YouTube, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. If you want to send in a donation and help us grow here on the program. Sean Stanley, by the way, driving the program. Appreciate all of you out there. Ross Robinson says, why can't you guys talk about the victory that the Dolphins got today instead of finding the negative aspects of the team? I think I've talked about the victory a ton, Ross. Maybe you just tuned in 2 minutes ago and you just heard that, but I've talked plenty. And if you listen to that interview, I was trying to point out a lot of positives in it. Okay, so whatever. I always love the people that just tuned in and they weren't listening to. We're practically 2 hours on. We got a couple minutes left, and we're 2 hours on, and some guys complaining about something that's been said for a couple minutes. Give me a break, dude. Let's see what else. Rhonda says, I didn't listen to them way back. He's doing fine and getting better each game. That's how it is with any new job. Well, Rhonda, you have common sense. That's the difference right there. You expect Tua to take the field and be a finished product? I mean, that's just not the way it goes. And that's why I pointed out other young quarterbacks that they're going to make mistakes. Look at Josh Allen. He's in his 4th year, and he's making a lot of big mistakes. Dr. J says, Big O, can we get the loan help in free agency, get a mix of veterans and young guys, get a wide receiver and a running back in the draft? They can do it, Dr. J. It's up to them to be dedicated to get it done. But most of all, they better build a line for this kid and that running game. I think that's the most important thing. I thought Kirk Merritt would get 4 TDs. Yeah, so did I. I would hope so. Kansas City scored again, so it looks like it's going to be 23-3. I guess I did a good thing in giving 2.5 points and taking Kansas City. That was a nice move by me. Give Tua a break. The guy got his hip dislocated and played a season and got his ribs messed up this year, and he's supposed to be Thanos. I don't know what that means. And this year he's supposed to be, I don't know. Anyway, but I'm with you, Giuliani. I'm 1,000% with you on that. Tua is a guy that deserves a little more understanding for what's going on there. Eric Elmer says we should keep eating lead paint. End it sooner. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. Dante Viper says Big O is a badass. Thank you. I'm not, but I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Tremolio. Wow, we haven't seen Tremolio in a while. He says, Big O, I think you should stream for 10 hours every Sunday before, during, and after the game. Come on, man. We need 10 hours of free content. LOL. Yeah, you want to burn out my voice. That's what you want to do. Tua haters are losing stocks. Tua slowly running them out of town. Yeah, you're right. It's like, what's that? What's the short sale, the short squeeze? When people do that in stocks, that's kind of what they're doing with the Tua stock, right? They're short squeezing it and all that stuff, and they're trying to cripple the stock. But all of a sudden, the boys and women from what's that chat board that's really famous, the Reddit or whatever the hell it is, they all start buying in on the GameStop, and it blows up, and all those people on the short sales, they end up getting burned and broke and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what's going on with the Tua stock. You're right about that. All those anti-Tua people, they're just going to start making up stuff to make sure to convince themselves that Tua can't be the player. Yeah, you're right about that. Because slowly but surely, Tua's getting better in spite of the crap that's around him, in spite of the fact that he doesn't have a quarterback's coach. You know what I mean? But somehow or another, he's finding a way to be productive. That's got to be frustrating the crap out of a lot of the anti-Tua people out there. Remember to smash the like button. Let's go, man. Let's go. I see it at 348. We hit 1100 last week. Come on, man. Let's go. Show it. Let's break it. Robert Carrillo says, double down on Tua now, Big O. I already did. I already doubled down. I've doubled, I've tripled down on Tua. Tua's not the problem here. And when people will figure out that the coaching is the problem here, you're going to see a lot more players actually playing better because this roster is not as bad as it looks. And this roster does not match the record that it has. It has this record because it's got terrible coaches. That's the reason why they have this record. I admire the crap out of Tua. Guys like Gesicki, Waddle. I love what they're doing in spite of everything that's going on. Jay Stammer says, too much South Beach makes this team personally soft. Time to relocate to Toronto. Yeah, I don't think anything like that has anything to do with it. But, I mean, listen, you can create whatever narrative you want, dude. Jason Gerard says, the Jets got some headhunters out there. Every game without a major injury is a blessing. IT Respect says Tua's trajectory is looking scary for next season. He gains more experience. Kid is excelling under difficult circumstances. Imagine Tua under Belichick. That's my point. I don't need Belichick. Give me Sean Payton. Just put Tua with Sean Payton, and he's a Pro Bowl player. That's all. Javon Holland has been the defense's best player. That Trop, I would agree with that one. I like that one. Larry in Columbus says 3 offensive pass interferences because they aren't coached properly on how to do it. It's just not a good team overall, man. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. That's the only thing. What else do we have here? Man, Xavier Howard dropped an interception in the red zone today. Preston Williams gets injured. Jason Sanders misses the field goal. Shaheen got also injured. By the way, what a bogus penalty on Gesicki. That was not pushing off. That was a terrible. There were a couple of really, really bad calls. And I'm glad the Dolphins won because I'm not one of those people that likes to use the referees as excuses and try to bail a team out. Now, look, every once in a while, if there's a call that ends the game and it was a bad call and it hurt a team, then I can understand that. And that, but sometimes when teams lose and then they start to point at some of the penalties, that's kind of sore loser talk. I'm glad they won because there were a couple calls today that were just unacceptable. I mean, absolutely irresponsible. That Gesicki one, to call that a push was insulting to call that a push. And not because I lost my over and under on Gesicki because I had 52.5 yards. That easily would have given me the over because he ended with 50. That has nothing to do with it, okay? But damn, man, that was a nice play by Gesicki and no reason to call that penalty. By the way, this week, Wednesday, we're at Hialeah Park, not Thursday, because as you all know, Thursday is Thanksgiving, so we are not going to do it. So Wednesday we'll be there, and then Friday we're going to be at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines to wrap up the month. So it'll be our final broadcast of the month. As you know, we're at Craig Zinn's twice a month, the middle Friday of the month and the last Friday of the month. And obviously this coming Friday is the final Friday of the month. So we'll be at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. So we'll have 2 appearances during the week this week. So it'll be a great opportunity. By the way, if your business wants to join our business and promote our business and be a part of it, I mean, we get to promote your business. Please reach out to me on the text line at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 on the text line. The email is bigoRadioshow@yahoo.com. So if you're looking to advertise and you want to support our program and the way we are growing, which again, I want to thank all of you out there. We are averaging over 60,000 downloads a day. We are now around 1.8 million downloads a month. We are pacing now to go 20 million downloads over the next year. So we appreciate all of you out there. The YouTube channel is growing by leaps and bounds. We're adding about 1,000 subscribers a month. So please subscribe if you're watching. It is very important. We need to make a strong push to get to 10,000. That is the next level that we need to get to as a show. We're at 7,700 right now. So help us get to 10,000 to help us grow in that direction also. So appreciate all of you out there. We crossed 8 million downloads this week. So congratulations to you, Sean. Great work by you, sir, as always. We appreciate all of you out there for always supporting us. Remember, other ways to support us. You can make a donation through Cash App and Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Always appreciate the support out there. We will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as we always do it, baby. Same time, same place, same bat channel. We thank all the great people out here at Sports Grill. As always, Carlos and Frankie, the owners, who do exceptional work. We appreciate it. And we're now 3-0. All right? 3-0 the last 3 weeks since we made the switch from Miami Lakes to Bird Road. And it's a beautiful thing. So now we will ride out the rest of the schedule. Next Sunday, they will take on Carolina at 1 o'clock. Sean and I will be here starting off at 11 a.m. with the pregame show as always. So a great opportunity to make it 4 in a row here at Sports Grill in Bird Road. So we look forward to seeing you out here at Sports Grill in Bird Road. Y'all have a good one. Be safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.